Welcome to this live marketing clinic. Today we are talking about marketing your new business. And that comes as part of our series, or my series that I've been doing on starting a new business. And this is part of a multi-video series that I'm sharing with you. And today's topic is marketing your new business. And so I thought I'd go live. Now earlier today, I shared on building a business plan for your new business. And this part of it, as I had mentioned during that video that I was going to have a marketing session, I decided, hey, I'm going to do a live version. So if there's anybody who comes in, please feel free to share your thoughts. If you have a question and you're watching this on the replay, if you're watching, comments below and I'll be happy to read them and comment back to you. And very much be happy to possibly create a video on any one of your topics. So what do? When we get into the business, we have our idea, and we've been talking a lot about our persona, who's the person we are targeting, and we'll be focusing a lot on that. We need to understand our customer as much as anything. And so what we're going to do is talk about in a few moments the solar system method. But before we get into that, we need to talk about those main areas of our marketing strategy. That's awareness, traffic, conversions, and retention, retaining the people that we've worked so hard to get. Now, first is awareness. And there are a lot of ways to get awareness for your company. If you have a really new and exciting idea, the press is a great place to go. Go out and let editors write about the topics that you are related to in your industry. And look for them, start building relationships with them, ask them the type of articles they'd like to write on, and if you have a good angle, you can then pitch it to them. Same thing with bloggers and so forth. So you should definitely go for the free media if you can do that. Now, and other ways you can develop awareness is through paid advertising, display ads. You can do that. If you have something in which you are fixing a problem, one of the things you do that's really powerful is create a landing page, your subject, and your answer, maybe put a video on it, and then have them purchase that product on that landing page. But what you do is you search in Google the question, what does your problem solve? Search in Google the question about what your problem solves and see what comes up. And quite often there are blogs and websites that are answering your question in various forms. And if you have a solution that helps people who tend to do it themselves, you can actually put ads there using the Google display ad system or some variation of that. And so that can help get the word out about what you're doing. Obviously, social media is another way you can get the word out about what you are doing, boosting information, creating videos, just sharing answers, getting out there and sharing the answer that you are providing in various forms. So that's awareness. Traffic. You can develop traffic through search engine optimization. Once again, paid traffic. You can pay for ads, maybe search ads, as well as ads on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, and depending on the type of product or service that you are offering. The next thing is conversions. And conversions have to do with A/B testing, with trying new ways to get people to buy. In other words, sometimes you have to test the price. Sometimes you have to test the call to action. What is your call to action? Do you understand your call to action? That is really important when it comes to marketing. And you need to understand that you have to have a powerful call to action, but you can test it. Your first idea does not have to be your last idea when it comes to marketing. The great thing about digital marketing is we can test all of our ideas. And there are so many, and I'm going to have a video on how to brainstorm and coming up with new ideas related to business too. So as part of this series, I'm actually doing it probably a little bit later than I should, but I'm going to put it in the earlier part of the playlist later on. But it's about brainstorming, and you can do this with your marketing too. So it actually not only coming up with new product ideas, but also how to market. It'll be very helpful as part of that. And some of the things that we talk about are extremes. developing extremes related to our marketing concepts, developing solutions in terms of what it is that we are developing in our and so forth. So anyway, A/B testing when it comes to our conversions, finding the right prices, finding the right message, finding what resonates with the people that we are trying to connect with, and that is part of that conversion process. Hey, maybe a conversion doesn't have to necessarily be a sale right now. Maybe it's just qualifying people who may be interested. You could offer a download for them. You could offer an ebook, maybe a webinar, a special video that could qualify these people, get them into it, and then have them ask for more information. It all depends on the type of product that you have, the product or service that you have. So you'll need to test the different elements of your marketing, and that, again, is the biggest element when it comes to marketing. Don't think you know. Do your best to discover your customer ahead of time. Don't think you know until you start letting the data tell you, and then you can build. Last is that conversion element. Is that retention element. What can you do to help retain your current customers? And the number one thing is communication. Now, sometimes you can have too much communication, but the fact is the more communication, the better. The people who are interested in what you have to offer are interested in what you have to offer. Email is a great place to go. Keeping people in touch with social media. Social media is a great customer service platform. So definitely make sure you're continuously involved in dealing with your social media and really be engaged with that audience that is there, and make sure you follow up with good email. Retention can also be helpful. You can use remarketing and retargeting campaigns to keep people on board. Maybe there's a renewal, there's time for a check-in. You can always use remarketing and retargeting to help in that area too. So actually, retargeting, going back to the conversion, is a really good way to go. Also, retargeting has a very high conversion rate because a lot of times a retargeting or remarketing campaign is when someone lands on your web page and then they leave and they don't do anything, but you still send them messages via maybe Facebook or Google, and those people are continuously getting message based on they landed, the pages in which they engaged with. And so you can continue to send messages to them, and it's a higher conversion rate because those people have, know who you are. And so they're not going to click on your ad necessarily unless they need more information or they're ready to buy. So very good conversion technique as well as retention when it comes to, say, a subscription or annual renewal or whatever it is that maybe the average person runs out of your product in 90 days. And so around 90 days, you can send them a message, hey, don't forget to refill or reorder. So there are a number of ways to go about that. So we want to understand our persona. We understand our target market. Who is that person? And start thinking about who they are, what it is, where they are. And then you can start developing your plan around conversions and retention and figure out what methods you're going to use. Are you going to use email for retention? Are you going to use A/B testing with Google Analytics for your conversions? Are you going to use SEO for your traffic? You should use at least one, but I like to combine two things. So, for example, I love combining search engine optimization with retargeting and remarketing because, you spend all this time and energy on your SEO. However, a lot of people go there and they're just starting to gather information and then they leave. So if you're using retargeting, remarketing, when they're ready to make that purchase decision, your message will continue on. So they may have seen 5, 6, 7 websites at that one point in time, but if you're sending them messages after they leave your website, the chances of them coming back to you are much greater. There's that branding element. You're not charged every time they see your ad when they go all around the web. You're not charged for that. You're only charged for when they click on it again and come back to your website and hopefully purchase or ask for more information. So marketing your small business quite often, I know, is on a small budget, and so you have either time or money or both. And most of us who have a new business, we have to deal with their time. And so social media is a great way to get yourself out there and build new relationships and build partners. Looking for people who are targeting the same audience. That can be a really way to build your company with 2 or 3 the same people. And if you can combine your resources, you can, all get benefit from those relationships. And so build those relationships, especially early in the game. And that's really going to help your marketing efforts. So pay-per-click, a lot of people ask me about pay-per-click, and pay-per-click is an excellent way to drive traffic, but you have to understand your return on investment. And if your product or service is like 25 bucks, chances are pay-per-click is not your way. It's possible maybe with Facebook with some long tail keywords and so forth, or very small, well, with Google long tail keywords. But chances are if you have a click, unless you're highly skilled, I guess let me qualify it, unless you're highly skilled, pay-per-click may not be right for you. Now, if your lifetime value of your customer is $300, $400, $500, now that's a different animal. So let's say they renew or they buy more product, whether it's $25 or not. If it's $25 over a year, that's $300. So the lifetime value of that customer over a year is $300. There, you might be able to risk that ROI and say, okay, it's going to cost me $100 for the sake of argument to get that client through pay-per-click, but overall, I will still be making money. So that's something you need to consider with pay-per-click. You need to consider the long term. In the old days, a lot of times people say, well, I'll try to magazine or in this newspaper. And then they don't get anything, and so they stop advertising. You have to understand that advertising is a campaign, and you need to continuously test. And the nice thing about digital marketing is if you see something not working in a few days, you can make an adjustment to the ad. You can change things around. But you need to think of things about 3 to 6 months at a time, not let's try 50 bucks and leave. That is a big waste of $50. You really do need to have a serious budget, and you need to make sure you're doing it over a period of time so you can continue to build that funnel that you are trying to work and create. So that is something I highly recommend when it comes to pay-per-click, is to make sure you're building that funnel and you have the time and the resources to make it all happen. Because you very well, if you are going in and say, okay, I have $500 and if it doesn't work, I'm out. That's just like saying all in when you don't have the cards to win. You're just gambling. And if you have to gamble, if your marketing is a desperation play, chances are you're going to lose. Your marketing can't be a desperation. Work in marketing, you need to make sure that you have a plan and you have the finances to not make it a desperation play. Now, hey, I'm repeating myself a little bit here and there just because my lost connection goes, and I'm not sure how you're receiving it on the other end. It does tell me there's a low connection, and so I want to just make sure I'm getting my points across. So that's why I'm waiting. It kind of goes on for like 5-10 seconds, and then I'm back. Just so you know. So I want to share a few more thoughts, especially related to the solar system method, and then give you a little bit of parting homework. So the solar system method is where you look at your website. That is your sun. That is where you sell. And then everything else around it are different. But near the sun is your blog. That is your personality. You sell hard on the website, but the blog is kind of the back, developing your authority under that area. It allows you to, helps SEO, it helps build authority, it helps you become an expert in your field. And then from there you have what are called inner planets, which are multimedia sites such as YouTube or Flickr. And you can pull from these sites and also build communities such as we do on YouTube. And Pinterest could even be an inner planet, but generally I consider that an outer planet, which I'll get to in a moment. And so you store a lot of good quality content there. And then you have what are called podcasts, could also be an inner planet. And then you have your outer planets, are where you engage. Your outer planets are where you engage, and that's where you connect with people. And the goal, say on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you may be, is to connect with people and drive them in towards your website where you sell and have those offers. And of course, you A/B test on your website, and you can do that in Google Analytics or use Google Optimize is a way you can do A/B testing. You also have what I like to refer to as asteroids. Make sure early in your business you start developing your email lists. One of the most powerful methods of marketing today is your email list. And so make sure you're offering an ebook or something for people who are interested in what you have to offer, and they'll give you their email, and then you can market directly to them down the road. So that, and then of course your pay-per-click can also be inside that that solar system. You know, YouTube ads, you can do Twitter, Facebook ads, and they all of course go to a specific landing page. When you do pay-per-click, make sure you send an ad directly to a page totally related to that ad. Do not send them to the front page unless you have a really strong call to action on your front page. So that's the solar system method in a simple way. I actually have a video on the solar system method, a little more in depth. I'll put it right in the card above, and you'll be able to take a look. All right, the last thing I want you to do. So this is what I want you to do moving forward as we go through this process of growing and developing, in many of cases, people who are watching this, starting your business. I want you to think about that together, a persona. Who is your target market? Put together a persona, who is your target market, and then build a solar system like that. You have your website, decide if you're going to have a blog, what are some of those inner planets, multimedia sites, and then your outer planets, how are you going to engage and connect with people. Now, you may start off with Twitter or Facebook and then realize down the road it's really LinkedIn. That's fine. You can let the other ones go, but you need to start off with a plan, a marketing plan, and have a budget and have a realistic timeline to work with that budget. So that, I am all set. Thank you so much. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, you found it valuable, make sure you like it, and of course share it with your friends. And if you don't want to miss a future upload, be sure to subscribe. And of course, if you want to catch me live, you want that little notification that I'm going live where I can answer your questions, hit the bell icon, and you can ask me questions when I do go live. This is part of the Start Your Business series videos, and I encourage you to go to the very first video and take a look at it. You should be able to find it in the description below, and I look forward to talking to you next time.